Dear ACCA students, watch this video till the end. I know that you are now done with the exams, and now that you have had an ample amount of rest, I really hope that you have started your preparations again. Now, having taught hundreds of ACCA students across the country and having interacted with a lot of global ACCA teachers as well, I bring to you 5 focus points in this video. So, stay tuned for each point. This is a common observation that, well, I understand that you are seeing 600, 700, 1000 pages manual, the study text that I'm talking about, and you tend to get intimidated by it. That's very common. And in that intimidation, you tend to get panicked that thinking, how am I going to cram up the entire manual, right? And then what happens? You tend to do it, right? You tend to start cramming up the things. Well, let me tell you a secret. You don't have to do that. Well, it's true. You don't have to cram up because, if you are able to express the answer in your own words, that would suffice. Your answers need not match the exact language of your study text. You just have to explain the concept in your own words. And if you're able to do that, bang on, you're done. Be to the point, guys. Now, I have observed that what a lot of students do that if let's say you get a 5 marker, right, and you tend to write 10 points for it, you are wasting your time, right? So when you're writing the answers, 1 point or 1 mark, 2 to 3 lines, that's it, right? So 1 mark, 1 point, that's it. So 5 marker question, 5 points, and you're sorted with the question, right? So don't tend to overwrite stuff. Don't tend to build stories around your answer, right? Be specific, be precise, be to the point. Ah, my favorite, MCQs. A common observation, guys, that you tend to take MCQs for granted. And in all my study sessions, right, in all my live sessions or recorded sessions as well, the very first thing that I start the session is with that MCQs are very important. You cannot afford to take MCQs for granted, guys. You cannot do that. If you are taking them for granted, you are ignoring the massive amount of leverage that these MCQs can provide you in clearing your exams. I'm sure you want to know how. How is that leverage happening? I'll tell you how. Let's assume that you need 50% to pass the exam. But it's not an assumption. You actually need 50% to pass the exam, right? Now, let's assume that you prepare MCQs in a very, very good manner. You are clear with the concepts, and out of the 30 marks, right, you are able to score 24 in your MCQs, even 22, right? Or let me say even 20, right? Guys, around half of the battle you have already won, right? So if you are scoring that much in MCQs, then out of the next 70 marks, you can easily score the remaining marks, right? So MCQs are very important, guys. Take it to your heart. Do not ignore MCQs or do not take MCQs for granted. Very important. Focusing on theory. It happens to us all the time that once we are preparing the practical subjects, we tend to lose out on theory, right? Either we do not have time, we think that we don't have time, or we feel that let's prepare the numerical questions and let's ignore the theory. Guys, don't do that. That's a blunder, because that theory enjoys a substantial amount of weightage in your exam. Then if you are leaving out theory, you are missing out on that substantial weightage. And why do you want to do that? Right? So I always insist to all my students that theory is as important as the numerical questions in practical papers. So do remember that. The next is time management. Now we all struggle with time management, right? We don't know that, okay, how are we actually gonna prepare now that it's computer based, right? So how do we actually prepare in a simulated environment, or what are the tips and tricks of an effective time management for clearing the exam in one shot? Well, bringing you the next video, guys, on time management. Stay tuned with us, AR Finance Room's ACCA program, and you'll sail through.